This time around, the challenge is a print function. So we're asked to use the print function to carry out this task. So let's see. It says the included code stub will read an integer n from the standard input-output device. Without using any string method, try to print the following: 1, 2, 3 to n. So it's saying that we should basically print the number without showing it in a new line. So if you are familiar with C programming language, when you write print, maybe print 1, and you run it, it will display on a line like this, 1. And if you write print again, maybe print 2, it will come down and display it on another line like this, 2. Right? But if you want to print it on the same line, you use print L or print, so it will print it on the same line. All right. So that's basically for C programming. So what about in Python? How do you achieve that? How are you able to print without going to a new line? Okay, so let's look at the constraints in this challenge. What are the constraints? Let's identify the constraints. So the constraint 1, n must be greater than 1 and n must be less than or equal to 150. So we can say if 1 is less than or equal to n and n is less than or equal to 150, then we can run the code. Now we're going to use a while statement. Let's say we have a variable I and we start I from 1. Let's say while I is less than or equal to n. Since we're given n, so we want to create a loop here such that the code keeps running until this condition is met or is exceeded. Once the condition is met, it will exit the loop. So while we are in this loop, why is it okay? Did I use capital W? So it does not recognize the while. Okay, so while I is less than or equal to n, we want to print I. All right. Now we want to print I, and then we want to say I is equals to I plus 1. All right. So if we should run this code now, what will happen? We will see something like this. We'll see something like this. It will print 1, it will go over and print 2, it will go over and print 3, it will go over and print 4. It will keep going that way because this is how the print function works, unless we add another argument that suggests that it should not print on a new line. So let me just comment this first and let's try Shift. Okay, so if we should run this code, let's run this code and see what happens. So you can see we did not meet the challenge because it is printing on new lines. All right, the input was 3 and this is the output 1, 2, 3. Now let's put an argument here. Let's put the end argument and we'll equate it to a blank. All right, now let's run the code again. So you can see the argument. This is an argument that the Python print function has, so we can use it to decide what is in between the print statement. Ordinarily, what you find is this new line. This is symbol for new line. All right, you can put any other thing in there. You can put a tab, you can put, let's see. So you can see the tab gives a space, but we don't want a space, neither do we want a new line. So we just put an empty string and run the code again. So this time around, you can see it gives us what we are asked to do. It prints them in a single line without spaces or tab in between. So that's just basically what it is we have in this challenge. So let's submit our code and see. So you can see the code passed through all the tests. Alright, so we'll meet in the next challenge. Thank you.